Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy you found me. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today is going to be a quick little talk. I'm going to talk about small and tiny successes, right? Because success rarely comes overnight. We all know that, right? Especially in today's social media where you have your highlight reels and your instant gratification showing. That's basically what everybody sees. It's easy to overlook the quiet victories, the behind the scene victories is what I like to say. Those small, consistent wins that pave the road toward that monumental change. I'm not talking about anything specific. I'm talking about those small wins, whether you're in sales or whether you're trying to change your life or whether you're trying to change yourself. It doesn't matter. Whatever changes you're trying to make, I'm talking about those little tiny successes that you have. These minor accomplishments that you might have, they probably often seem insignificant and you might not even recognize it at the time in those moments, but over time, if you keep going, they form the foundation of sustainable success. Pretty much like the compound effect. That was a great book if you ever get a chance to read that. I believe that with small wins, we have an opportunity to build momentum. Not only because we just got a small win, but it allows that small win to help boost our confidence. It pretty much reinforces that a positive habit. So we know that, okay, I've done A, wow, and B was the result of that. So now that makes me feel good. I want to continue to do this because I'm looking for a big win down the road. But in order to get down the road, there's some things that I need to do, right? I have to pretty much maybe think differently, and more positively. When you succeed in something that's really minor, your brain begins to believe, I can do this. You know what? This is not as hard as I thought. I can do this, but I think you still have to have your reason why, and I'm not going to get into that. That would be another podcast, and I've talked about the why, the reason why we want to do something. We know that's important, but I'm just talking about today, just those small, insignificant wins, right? They may seem that way, but they're really the powerful engine behind the multifaceted success that we might gain from all these little tiny things that we do. These are the milestones that become the proof that progress is being made, that we're making it. We're making this happen. If you're trying to start that business or whatever it is, you do that one thing and you say, I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track for doing this. So I've done A, now I need to do B. Let me see where B gets me. And just because B doesn't move you in the direction that you want to go in, doesn't mean that you need to step back to A. It just means that, I got this result, but that's not what I'm looking for. So let me try it another way. See if I get the result that I'm looking for. So we might have to have a little shift in our thinking. So when you succeed in that little minor something, you could say, I'm moving forward. I'm making it. That tiny milestone becomes proof, right? That, okay, this works. I can create a measurable progress. It's something that's letting me know that where I'm at right now and then how far I've come and where I need to be later on. It's sort of like that benchmark for us, don't you think? Small wins help us to prevent burnout. I mean, I've been there before, so I'm only speaking from experience. Instead of waiting for that big breakthrough, small wins fuel daily motivation. I remember when I first started selling life insurance. Man, oh man, did I hate making calls. Yep. And you know what? The sad thing about it is you're in a room with a bunch of other people, and you might be new to this like I was, like everybody at that particular time that comes in for the first time, and they start reading this script, and you have to make calls, and you got to read the script over and over and over. You get to learn the script fairly quickly, but all the no's that's slamming in your door, and then you're hearing the people next to you, they're making sales and they're sounding great, and you're like, what the heck in the world am I doing so wrong? It's not that you're failing. It's not that you're not making a sale. Right now, if you just keep on reading that pitch, getting all those no's are allowing you to practice. It's allowing you to make that presentation sound crisp, sound good, polished. So when the right person comes along, you sound like you know what you're talking about, and you make that sale. Now that you done made that sale because you know what you've done has been working. Okay, I make the sale. You still have to go through about maybe 50 to 100 more no's before you make the next. So those small wins, that sale, you figure, you say, okay, I just made this sale, and you don't realize the amount of money you just made in just about 20 minutes. It really outweighs what you've gone through over the phone in the past hour or 2 hours, doesn't it? You're making that sale, so let's say you made $500 on that sale. You made $200 or $300 on that sale. Some people make $1,900, $1,500 in that one sale. Now, you know what you just made. You really are pumped up. You see my point? So it doesn't matter whatever it is that you're doing in life. All I'm saying right now is, even if you don't see your progress, keep going. Now, you doing this over and over and over, and days and days and days go by, and you're not getting the response that you want. Maybe it's time to see if what you're doing can be tweaked a little bit better, a little altered, just to get the results that you are looking for. And that can mean anything. Doesn't even have to be in sales. So you can even equate that to learning something new. Let's say that you have a test coming up. So now you know you want to learn this, whatever it is that you're learning. And you think you got it, so you go take your test and you realize you failed. What that's really saying is you didn't understand everything that you studied. That's all that means. So go back to the drawing board, start studying again, start trying to understand the concepts in a way where you can explain it to anyone. Now you have a better understanding, and now you can go back and pass that test, right? So the small wins help us prevent those burnout moments, right? Whether it's making 5 calls instead of none, whatever the case may be. You choose to show up no matter what, because if you quit, you'll never see the wins. And then you say, oh, well, it didn't work out, but you didn't finish. So let me give you a small example of a small success, right? And I'm going to equate this again to something that I do. Let's say fitness, right? Let's just say you choose water over soda. Well, soda, if you choose your water over the soda, it becomes the first domino effect in the weight loss journey. And I'm saying that because if you drink more water than soda and juice, you'll eventually start dropping weight because of your efforts and that compound effect. Yeah, you drink water and then have a soda tomorrow and 5 sodas on Saturday and the next soda and the next juice. That water is not going to mean anything. You have to be consistent. And that's the key. So even if you wanted to do this in saving money, you got to first take a look at your budget. What are you spending your money on, right? Because if you want to pay off your debts, you got to start making a plan, right? So even if you say in sales, now I've been in sales most of my life, getting that one call back after 20 emails shows progress and trains for resilience, because you know I didn't send 100 emails or 20 emails to 100. I didn't get not one response. So maybe it's time to tweak something, to change the email, but you don't quit. You keep going, because that allows you to keep moving forward. That allows you to find that success in the moment in the future. So small efforts repeatedly, daily, change lives quietly but powerfully. So I have a quick story for you though, and it's about this guy named Jared. Jared was never the loudest in the classroom, or he was never the loudest in the sales room. He didn't have the flashiest suit or the sharpest tongue, but he had something most didn't: quiet consistency. While others waited for the perfect lead, Jared made 10 cold calls before lunch every day. Rain or shine, rejection or not, most calls didn't go anywhere, and he just didn't seem to be making headway. But some ended with hang-ups, some were celebrated every small win, a return voicemail, a small appointment, a single new contact added to his CRM. And we all know, if you're in sales, you have those CRMs where you put your leads and everything in them. You're wasting time, his colleague said. Tom once said, you'll burn out chasing dust. I know you will. But Jared smiled. He knew something they didn't. He wasn't chasing dust. He was planting seeds. Oh, that's powerful. 1 month passed, then 2. On the 3rd, something shifted. A lead from 3 weeks back called. He remembered Jared's kind tone. He introduced himself to a friend. That friend referred a CEO. That CEO ran a company with national need for Jared's product. Ah, man, the small calls. They had started a ripple. 6 months later, Jared closed the company, biggest contract of the year. Heck, in the last 5 years. His manager called him into the office stunned. How did you land this deal? Jared leaned back and smiled. 1 small call at a time. Tom overheard and chuckled. Man, I guess the dust becomes gold if you stick with it long enough. Jared didn't say much. He just went back to his desk. Time for another round of small calls for big wins. Hey, here's my final thought. Small success, I don't know if you have the small successes in your life. It's not just a prelude to me, to the end result. They are the process. It's like your life in a journey. It's the journey that matters. It's what you become in that journey. It's what you do within that journey. Just like Jared's call, your daily efforts matter more than you realize. Stay consistent. Celebrate every inch over time. Those inches turn into miles, and the miles, well, they turn into transformation. I've been publishing this podcast and learned a great deal for the past 2-year journey. I'm on a quest of life just like you. We all have our own paths to walk. The difference is our unique blend of perspective and how we choose to live and how we choose to give back. Hey, I want you to do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe to this podcast. Go ahead and like this podcast. I'm making some changes on this podcast. Currently, I publish on Monday, Wednesday, and on Poetry Friday. Starting next week, I will only publish on Wednesday and Friday. This will allow me to focus on more quality content and less quantity. Hey, my whole idea for this podcast is to allow or provide content that will be practical for people to use in their own lives, and even provide you with much needed reminders for life. Hey, thanks again for listening. I appreciate you. My name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast. And again, do me a favor, be blessed and subscribe. Thank you. So long.